Hi there folks, we're Travel with Johnny and Will, and well, this is the start of our vlog series. We are on board Marella Discovery 2. Being on Marella is like coming home for us, because it was our first ever cruise line that we tried, and not only that, we're super excited because we're finally on board a Discovery ship, and we're on board the ship we should have been on 2 weeks ago, and the cruise was cancelled. So we are just so grateful to be here.
Yeah, very excited to be on Discovery 2 for the first time.
So today started off super early. Last night we stayed in the Malden Hotel at Belfast International Airport, and we had to get up at like 3:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
To get ready, then to head literally the 30-second walk to the airport in order to catch our early morning flight to Malaga.
Yeah, so the flight itself all went out without a hitch, really. It wasn't until we landed in Malaga Airport and we got to passport control, and the queue was really, really massive.
It was like a cattle market.
Yeah, it was really, really bad. And the queue lasted for about an hour, so by the time we got through, our cases were actually the very last ones on the belt.
Yeah.
And the belt had stopped and everything, and the next flight was nearly going to come on to that belt, so we grabbed our cases, and then we simply ordered an Uber. And in Malaga Airport, it's all signposted for Uber and another car sharing service called Bolt, and it was really easy. Yeah, we would recommend doing that. And the Uber took us straight to Malaga Cruise Port and dropped us right off at the ship.
Yeah, it's only about 6 miles, I think,
Yeah.
from airport to cruise port. So the cost of the Uber was like what, €20?
Yes.
Yeah. Obviously, for those that haven't watched our last video, we had to book cruise only for this cruise because TUI didn't offer flights from Belfast, so that's why we didn't get a Marella transfer. Just in case you're wondering and thinking, oh well, I thought there was a bus included. There is, and we did see the Marella reps literally in the entrance hall. You know, they'll all be sort of standing with clipboards with the logo and things on it to direct you to your buses. But obviously for us, as well said, it was just a quick Uber to the cruise port.
Yeah, and just one thing to mention, if your flight and your cruise is with Marella, remember to take your bags off the carousel and take them and put them on the coach yourself.
Yeah. So literally, the Uber brought us right to the door of the cruise terminal. We lifted our bags out of the boot, and this guy approached us. Yeah. Was like, "Oh, can I take your bags, sir?" So literally, we walked inside the terminal building. There's a little table which you collect your cruise cards from.
Which is this. This is used on board to open your cabin door and also to pay for things on board, and then it's added to your shipboard account.
Yeah, and obviously then we went to the check-in hall, and again the representatives were there. They registered the credit card, they took our photos for security, and then literally the holiday.
That was it. Yeah, it was done.
Like literally within 5 to 10 minutes of being out of the taxi, we were on the ship. It was superb.
So as soon as we got on board, we were sort of directed to our cabin, so we went straight up to deck 7 toward our cabin. And the reason the ship was in dry dock 2 weeks ago, or before that, was to get all the cabins refreshed. And we must say, we are very, very impressed by this cabin.
Yeah, we're staying in cabin number 7520, which is a deluxe balcony cabin on deck 7. And we will bring you a full cabin tour and review video. So keep an eye out for that video. So obviously we had been up since before dawn, so therefore we were peckish. So basically whenever you get to your cabin, there'll be a cruise news, which basically tells you everything from what entertainment is on each day to what's in port, and also where to eat and drink and what time everywhere is open till. So we looked at this, and that told us that, you know, because we were peckish, there was options available for us to find somewhere to eat. So we decided to go to the Snack Shack.
And one thing I like about the cruise news is they still print it and they still put it in your cabin. So if you've come on board and you don't have time to connect your phone up to stuff, it's there, all the information's included, and you can just take it with you. And it means that, like for us, when we went straight up to the Snack Shack, we were able to have a look at it and have a browse and see what we could get up to for the rest of the day.
Yeah, we like going old school. And actually, one of the other things about this is the actual bit about what is on, excuse the noise of the fistling, is all on one page, double-sided. So it literally is perforated, that you can literally perforate and take it off, and then literally just shove that in your pocket whenever you're going out.
So the snack shack is like the poolside grill, so it's just your grab and go sort of quick snacks. I had the chicken burger, and you had
I had fish and chips.
Fish and chips, yeah, the fish croutons.
Yeah. Now there are little snacks. It
Yeah.
really is. It's not like you're sitting down to like a big meal or anything like that. So you do find most people are going up maybe and getting something else in addition to it, because like I say, they are just sort of little snacks.
Yeah, and there was cookies there as well.
Which were nice.
So after this, we headed to the Glass House, which is the location for the indoor pool on Marella Discovery 2. And this is a little bit of an unusual one for us because we've never been on a Marella ship that's had an indoor pool. And then in addition to that, there's a bar here, there's hot tubs, and there is like a buffet style with like pizzas and salads. And what else?
I had a little chicken wing, or
Yeah,
like
chicken
little bit
wings.
of chicken with a bit of coleslaw. Yeah, so also in here they have these kind of like cabana kind of sunbed kind of things, which
Yeah.
have like sort of
And
like
they hold 2 people.
Yeah, and they have like little curtains and all
Like
around.
privacy things,
yeah.
yeah.
So yeah, we can see how this is quite relaxing, and there's waiter service in there too. So like I would say that at some point in the cruise we probably will spend a bit of time there.
And the other bonus about this area is that it's adults only.
So with every ship that we go on our first day, we always like to go to the spa. We always sort of like to go to see, is it going to be something that we are going to be interested in going to,
Yeah.
or to get a price list for the treatments and things like that, just so that we can then maybe think about whether we're going to book a treatment or visit the spa for a day. There isn't much of a thermal suite area because obviously you've got the hot tubs and things like that in the glass house, which is
Yeah.
just before the spa, but there is saunas inside the individual changing rooms, and then there's another sun lounging area out the front of the ship, which is it's the veranda area, which you
Yeah.
access through the gym. There is plenty of treatments on offer. Staff obviously on day one are looking to really get you booked in, and they'll sort of tell you about a few offers, but we haven't booked anything as yet.
No.
We may see just as the cruise goes on, because sometimes you can always bag yourself a good deal, especially on a port day.
Yeah, I would say that the spa, it hasn't been that impressive to us. It felt like there was only really the salon and like a nail bar, and then there was the treatment rooms and then the saunas within the changing rooms.
Yeah.
But not much more than that. There was no hydrotherapy pool. There wasn't all different types of showers. There wasn't hot and different types of saunas or steam rooms or anything like that. So, yeah, we'll see if we visit there throughout the cruise.
Yeah. So then after that, we went to bar 11. So up on deck 11, there is a bar called bar 11. And as well as that, then just off this main bar, there are different sort of specialty dining areas. So we wanted just to go for 2 reasons. One, just to sort of find our bearings, because we have booked surf and turf for tomorrow evening. But as well as that, just to find out where the likes of Coraline that was. We wanted to see what menu was there, because quite often they do 2 different menus, and one we like and one we don't.
Yeah. Another reason I wanted to go up is because it's this great big glass facade with this tilting glass that overlooks the pool deck, which gives it a very the whole area around this is very open, very glassy, and it's very a style of ship that we quite enjoy that you don't get maybe so much in like a modern ship. So yeah, it's a really beautiful area up there.
And then we stopped down at the pool bar afterwards for a little drink.
Yeah.
Now we only stopped for one because it was quite windy, and and we sort of thought, right, well, and even though it wasn't overly cold, it felt cold just because it was windy.
Yeah.
So we had one drink there and then headed back indoors.
So then we got back to the cabin. We unpacked, got everything away, got nicely settled in, and then we had to get ready for dinner.
So as we got ready, we decided to head out, and en route for dinner, we decided to stop in the live room, which is a venue, and obviously there's live music that plays here, but we decided to stop for a pre-dinner drink, which was quite enjoyable. So after basically our pre-dinner drinks, we decided then to head to the Gallery 47 Italian. So as the name suggests, it's an onboard Italian restaurant. It's included in your standard fare. And if you're used to the likes of the Voyager and then the Explorer ships, this would normally be called Vistas.
Vistas, yeah.
So that's where we decided to head for dinner.
So here's a quick look at the menu for Gallery 47 Italian. What do you think you would pick out of this? So to start, I had the bruschetta and Johnny had the arancini. but we sort of did a sneaky swap thing, and I had half of his and he had half of mine.
Yeah, I don't think we wanted to properly commit to making
No.
a decision on one of those starters each. So
Because sometimes arancini can be quite heavy, and I wanted to mix it up with a wee bit of bruschetta, and the bruschetta was so nice and fresh, but then the arancini was really like...
Oh, it was gorgeous.
Beautiful,
Oh
yeah.
my goodness. It was so nice. I think, like, of all the places we've had arancini, the only one place that I've had it nicer is actually that time we went to
The
Sicily.
excursion.
And
yeah.
it was a huge ball.
We were sort of worried it was going to be this massive ball of like deep fried rice and cheese, and we didn't want that to put us off our main course.
But yeah, it was really enjoyable. So for our main course, we decided to have the same thing, which was a parpatelli carbonara, and it comes actually with a $4.95 surcharge, and we'll insert here as to the reason why. So basically, as you can see, they bring a huge cheese wheel over, and they discuss about, you know, how they scrape the cheese and everything off, and then they put in your pasta, and then they put a bit of vegetable stock in, and then they sort of mix it all up with it, and it's just mwah. It really is something else.
It was really nice. Yeah, you've had it before on the Explorer style ships. That was my first time having it, and it was really, really beautiful. The cheese is a lovely flavour. And it was a nice experience to have to bring the cheese wheel over to the table and to prepare it in that way.
Yeah. And then for dessert, now desserts were nice as well. Well, what did you have again?
I had the almond pastry tart.
Yeah.
It was really good. It was very almondy, but it had like more like a creme brulee type topping. It was like sugar, but it was all like caramelized, and it was really, really good.
I had like a chocolate and hazelnut cheesecake, which I can't pronounce the name of, so I'm just referring to it as a chocolate.
That's why.
as a chocolate and hazelnut cheesecake, but it was absolutely divine.
Yeah, and that whole restaurant, we love dining in a main dining room where there's 2 levels, and you can see throughout the whole restaurant. And this one has 2 levels. It's got massive glass walls at each side. It's a very beautiful space, which again, you don't get so much of these like cruise line features now in modern ships, because they split their restaurants into like 4 main restaurants or something. So having this on board is a real bonus for us.
Yeah. So after dinner, it was about 8 o'clock or just before 8, so we decided then to head to the Broadway show lounge. I can nearly get that out. So the Broadway show lounge is basically the theatre on board Marella ships, and this one certainly did not disappoint for its decor and layout. You have little individual seats as opposed to other ships that we've been on where it's sort of nearly like bench seating, but these have individual seats with little glass holders.
Yes, and the armrests are really thick so that you're not like shoved up against another person.
Yeah.
And then there's also individual like single seats with tables at the very back, and then there might have been some bench seating as well with little tables in front.
Yeah.
As at the rear of the theatre. So.
Yeah. One thing we like about the theatres on board Marella is going into the theatre as well, there'll be a guy with like drinks like beers, Prosecco, wine, and normally a couple of cocktails. I had a cocktail which wasn't overly nice. Obviously, you don't know what they are. It was green, and like some lady behind me was like, "Oh, what's that?" And I was like, "I don't know. It's a cocktail, but it wasn't that nice. It sort of tasted a bit like mouthwash." I drank half of it anyway. I was thirsty. So tonight's show is called Orchestrated, and this is one that we've never seen before on Marella, and it did not disappoint. And basically, whenever I read about it in the cruise news, I sort of thought this is going to be a bit naff, really. But basically, you have the cast of singers and dancers, and they are basically singing a variety of songs to a virtual orchestra.
They're playing on the screen behind.
Yeah, so the big screen behind had like an orchestra on it, And I think what was really good about it was that it wasn't just as if it was like an old screen that was showing somebody playing instruments. It zoned in on different. So like, for example, if you heard like somebody like in like the girl who was on percussion playing like a shaker, you know, like a shaker.
You know that percussion instrument, a shaker.
Yeah. But like she had like this sort of like shaker thing, and as she was sort of doing this with the shaker, you could really hear that.
Or
in
like
the music.
if it was the drums, they zoomed in.
The girl
or
playing the drum.
Guitar,
yes.
Yeah.
So I think
not just the shaker.
Not just the shaker. You know, I just have people are probably picturing this girl with like maracas, you know, going like this here now. But no, I thought it was really good and clever how that was all done.
And then in terms of this, there were 6 singers and then 4 dancers, and I think as a group they worked really, really well together. Some of the vocals were really, really good.
Yeah.
And then in the middle of the show as well, there was 2 professional dancers that came and did a little part, and there was also an aerial artist, which all added to the show and the feel of the show.
Yeah, like those sort of like Latin dancers, like they were
going
something
for it.
else. Like they were, like, he literally just threw her around everywhere, and the spins that she was doing, like, yeah, I'm sure she didn't have her dinner beforehand.
And then at the very end, it was quite funny when they were doing their bows. They turned toward the screen.
Yeah.
And it was so well choreographed that the person on the screen bowed, and I'm like, they're not even here, but it was really well done, actually.
Yeah, definitely worth the watch, folks.
Yeah. So after the show, we went up to the Squid and Anchor pub, which is like the British bar, the British pub at sea, Marella would call it. And we went up there because that's where the Sail and Shine party was for the sail away.
Yeah, it was to be held outside on the pool deck, but as it was a bit windy outside, they brought it indoors. Now, whenever we went there, we were surprised that the venue was actually empty nearly. You know, there was hardly anybody about.
We got a seat at the bar.
Seat at the bar, not a problem. And I think it was probably to our detriment as the night went on.
Yes, because the drinks were flowing.
Yeah. But yeah, no, it was the Sail and Shine party started then, and obviously it's basically where you have all the singers and dancers from the show team.
Yeah.
You have the entertainments team from Onboard, and they really get the crowd going and, you know, into having a party and sort of celebrating then the start of your holiday in style.
And as we normally find with Marella ships, there is such a friendly vibe on board. And as we were sitting at the bar, we did get chatting to different groups of people. And it was just really nice and sort of nice to meet people and see that they're having a good time in their holiday as well.
Yeah, that's one of the things we always love about Marella. It does feel like a wee bit of a community for the week, as opposed to some different cruise ships where you go on and you sort of don't see the same person twice. You know, that's not really the same as a sort of line, and that's something we really love.
And another thing that's happened today is quite a few people have come up to us because they've seen us either because we made the video about our cruise being cancelled 2 weeks ago, and that's really nice, and we love to, you know, thank those people for watching our videos and coming and having a word with us, and we really love that.
Yeah, it's sort of always good to sort of see. Well, we sort of still can't believe that people watch our videos at times, you know. But we're glad that somebody enjoys it. So it was really great to have a chin wag with some of those people.
So all that was left to do was to hit that late night buffet and then to go to bed.
Yeah, the late night buffet opens from 10 o'clock till 1 a.m.
Yes.
And I think we literally just got there as there was hardly anything left, so I think we got there pretty late. But folks, this has been our first vlog of this series, so thank you so much for watching this video. If you liked it, please do give it a thumbs up, it really helps. If you haven't already, click subscribe, it's free and it will really help us obviously grow our channel. And if you have liked this video again and you want to see the others in the series, click the bell icon to be alerted the next time we post a new video.
Thank you so much for watching. Bye.
Bye.